G'day guys, Tyler here. Welcome back to the Mets office. We have our last three fitness components to talk through today, and then we'll be done with all those. So today we've got reaction time, speed, and agility as our three fitness components to look at. Reaction time. So we can define reaction time as the time it takes the body to react to an external stimulus. All right. So that means basically the time it takes for a movement to occur. Right. So it's not just the thought. It's everything. We're going to see or hear or have some sort of external cue come in. Your brain obviously needs to process it, and then you are going to start moving, right? So it's that whole time it takes there, reaction time. Now, some key points here. The two main things that are going to impact this are a number of choices and any distractions. So when we say number of choices and distractions, let's think about a really simple one would be the start of a 100-meter sprint at the Olympics. Right, it's a really impressive moment. The stadium goes silent. There's no noise. So no distractions, right? They take out all those distractions. We want the peak performance here. Compare that to a team sport, an AFL game where there's crowd and there's wind and there's noise and there's a whole bunch of distractions going on. That's going to impact it. So less distractions is going to be better for your reaction time. 100-meter sprint, Olympic final, silent, remove all distractions. Number of choices. All right, now 100-meter sprint, there's one choice. Right, so what that means is while they're down there with no distractions and they're waiting for that stimulus, that external cue, in this case it's going to be the gun going off, they know when that gun goes off, they're going to start running in that direction. One choice only. So one choice, no distractions, that's going to be the best case scenario for the best reaction times we can get. As opposed to a team sport where an AFL player might receive the ball. Now, they have a lot of choices about what they're going to do. They've got a whole lot of distractions going on. There are players coming at them, there's contact, there's crowd, there's so many distractions. But they also, what are they going to do? They can run in 360 degrees. So they've got to decide if they're going to run, they've got to decide which direction. A whole lot of choices there. They may not want to run, they may want to kick or handball. So there's a lot more distractions going on there, a lot more choices, which is going to be a lot worse for reaction times. This is where you might sometimes see that the player receives the ball and maybe it's a bit of a deer in a headlight situation, and then they get tackled. Right? Reaction time wasn't good enough. They didn't make a decision and start moving fast enough. If that player knows, let's say that they know, maybe it's a training drill. As soon as they receive the ball, they're going to handball it to their teammate there. So there's only one choice here. All they've got to do is get the ball, that's going to be their stimulus, they get it, and then give that handball. If that's the case, they probably get it off in time. If they have to then choose between a range of choices, maybe that's the difference. So reaction time it takes the body to react to an external stimulus. That's from when the stimulus first comes into it actually starting to move. Make your decision and start that movement. Speed, really simple. Rate of motion. How fast are you going? Our most important speeds are going to be races, right? Sprint races, 100-meter sprint, 50 meters in the pool, right? That's where speed is going to be the determining factor on how that goes. Not solely reaction time, again, is going to be important, but whoever's going to have the highest speed is probably going to win that race. So pretty simple there. How fast can you go? Now, what's going to impact your speed? We're getting into some bit of physiology here. So we can sort of go back to a muscular power sort of situation. We need really good power to get really good speed. So I've got here rate of ATP production. There are anaerobic systems, ATP, PC, anaerobic glycolysis. The faster we can get that energy, the more power we have, the faster we're going to go. Muscle fiber recruitment, so how good are we at using those fast twitch muscle fibers to get really high power and get up and going. Rate of force production, again we're talking about that power. Higher rate of force production is likely going to lead to higher top speeds. And then I've got here technique, all right, because without these we cannot effectively use this here. So swimming's a really important one technically. We could get a really strong athlete, put them in the water, they might be really good rate of ATP production, a lot of fast twitch muscle fibers, high rate of force production, no technique, they don't go very fast. Running, probably not quite as important, but still very important. If we don't have good running technique, we're not going to get that very high speed. So that technique aspect's really important. All right, last one, agility. All right, now our agility, we're talking about changing direction quickly and accurately, right? It's no good just being able to go from here to here if the task requires you to move in a different direction. So quickly and accurately, and it is going to be as a result of a stimulus. So there is a cognitive aspect. So when we talk about agility, we've got three aspects that go into it. We've we've got a cognitive aspect. So that sort of comes back to our reaction time. All right, let's say in tennis, right, if the player's running that way, their change of direction is going to be determined by where the ball comes. Right, so if the ball goes at them, the agility might just be to stop. Right, so we were moving this way, now we've got to stop. As opposed to if the cross court, they might have to go back the other way. Now, before they can actually start that movement, they have to have this cognitive aspect, this reaction time. The brain has to see where the ball's going, process that information, and then we change direction. So there's the cognitive aspect, there's the physical aspect. So we're sort of coming back to this. All right, if we want to do it quickly, we're going to need muscular power. Right, so we're going to come back to all those physical aspects that are going to allow us to have that really quick change of direction. So physical aspects for quickly, cognitive for accurately, and there is going to be some technique involved. Right, so again, we might go back to some biomechanics and talk about a low center of gravity and a wide base of support, allowing us to use that to transfer that power to change direction quickly. So important thing is that there is this cognitive aspect, probably the really important thing. We can talk about a change of direction speed, which is a different thing. Right, that means I tell you that I want you to run to that cone and then go left as fast as you can. Right, that is me checking how fast you can change direction, but because it doesn't have this cognitive aspect, it's not really testing your agility. What would be different is if I had you run to a cone and then there was two lights, and a left or a right was going to come up, and then depending on which one came up, you then have to go that way. That's now agility. You're now responding to that stimulus, so you have to have that cognitive aspect, you then have to have that technical and that physical aspect to actually put that into practice and change direction. Team sports really go on for agility, where we, 360 degree motion and we can change direction in any way based on the stimulus. Tennis is a good one. You'll probably come up with hundreds, or maybe not hundreds, but lots of sports where that's going to be important. All right, so that's it. I think we've covered 11 fitness components over 4 videos now. So if you haven't watched the previous ones, go back and watch those. We'll have another one later this week for, again, maybe some different sports and just talking about important fitness components. If you've got any questions, as always, shout out, and thanks for watching.